If you're watching this video, you've obviously read the title. Today I'm going to be talking about a workout that I've been doing for years when it comes to running that I believe is a big part of my success, whether it's a sub 3 hour marathon, the 1:18 half marathon I ran, or the 50 mile and 100-mile course record. What I'm about to talk about is what I think is not the only thing I've done to be able to do what I do, but I believe it's a big part of what I've been able to do. I think this is one of the things that I would put on like the top 3 or 4 things that I do as a runner to do the things that I've been able to do. And if you're in ultra running, you've heard of the back-to-back long run. What that is doing a long run one day and the very next day doing another long run. So in typical like half marathon, marathon training, 5K even, whatever it is, before ultras, what people typically do is a long run on Saturday or one day a week. And so as you get into ultras, you need to be very comfortable running on tired legs. And so you would do a long run on Saturday and then another long run the next day to get used to simulating as close as you can to what it's like to be 50 miles into a race or 80 miles into a race. And so I believe what I've done, and there's a key distinction with what I'm about to talk about than just the back-to-back long run. I think there's something I've done that's helped me a little bit more, and that's running a faster pace on that second long run. So if I run a long run, 20 miles on Saturday, and do another 15 miles or 20 miles the next day, everyone in ultras knows about back-to-back long runs. But the thing I do, which is not conventional per se, or at least I don't hear people talk about it that often, and I don't I'm not a scientist. I don't have any research to back this. I'm just telling you what I've done to be able to do what I've been able to do, and that is running a tempo or faster pace the following day on that long run. So that's running, like, let's say for example, when I wanted to set the 50-mile course record that I set a couple years ago, I was looking at roughly running an 8:30, 8:40 mile pace for 50 miles straight. So that would put me at 7 hours and 11 minutes of being out there. What I would do is I would run, for example, 20 miles on Saturday and not really care the pace, just mostly be in zone 2 and super easy. And then the next day I would make sure I ran mileage at like not the full run per se, not always, but meaning like on that second long run, I would warm up for a couple miles and then run an 8:30, 8:40 mile pace and then cool down. Or some of those runs, if it was like 10 miles, it would be all 10 miles running at that pace. And so I think I don't hear people talk about this that often because it's obviously, I wouldn't say like super risky, but if you don't do the right things to take care of yourself, it is a high intensity thing to do, to run a long run on Saturday and then run tempo the next day, as well as also having the long run. Though I believe this is a big part of my success, and I'll tell you why. It's not necessarily the physical stimulus and training, though I'm sure that's a big part of it. I just don't have any research to back it up. What I believe is the big key factor here is that I now mentally know I can handle it. So because I've done something that's kind of like just extreme to a certain degree, is running tempo the next day when my legs are already dusted and tired, even if it's just 3 miles tempo, mentally it gives me a little bit of strength and confidence. So yesterday I ran 22 miles throughout the whole day. I had 2 different runs. I split up the run. And then today I ran 20 miles with a little bit more of elevation gain. And what I did is I ran up the hills harder than I typically would, or on the downhills I pushed the speed a little bit. And it wasn't super specific as far as like I have to do 2 miles on, or 2 minutes on, 3 minutes off or whatever. I just, when I felt like I could manage it, I pushed. And even though my legs are absolutely dusted right now, like I know I'm going to feel it tomorrow and the next couple of days, mentally I have a little bit of this extra give where I know I can handle the day after running 22 miles, running a sub 7-minute pace or running a sub 8-minute pace or a 9-minute pace up a hill, right? And so, yes, I'm sure there's training stimulus that's a part of me getting fitter, but I've been doing this for years and it's just continued to stack confidence in knowing I can run fast and hard when I'm already beat up. And so that's basically the workout. And maybe you're not trying to set course records, or maybe you are. Regardless, the point is when you try, for me, when I run really hard the next day after a long run, I get this confidence boost because I know I ran 22 miles yesterday and then ran 20 today and was running these sub 8-minute miles, or these, sub 7-minute sections of the course or the trail I was on. So I believe it's a big confidence booster. I would just, of course, say, hey, you got to be careful. I stretch, I drink a lot of water, I eat a lot, I take care of myself. And so I could see how this might be very impactful and damaging to certain people or even me, but I do the right things to take care of myself. So it's fun. Just maybe you could try it one time, even if it's not 20 miles and 20 miles, but hey, run 10 miles on Saturday and run 5 miles on Sunday and do a tempo mile at some point in that second long run. So that's really it. If you like running content and this type of stuff, that's what this channel is about. I'm just trying to help people learn from my mistakes, avoid injuries, and overall deepen their relationship with running. So if you like that kind of stuff, hopefully I'm the guy for you. And if not, that's cool too. I hope you got something out of this video, and I hope I get to see you in another one sometime soon. Peace.